Okay, when you first open up Expression Blend, by the way, this is Expression Blend 4, excuse me. You can choose a project that you're working with. That's the same website I was just on. You can do a new project, open a project, find it on your hard drive somewhere. If I click on that, I can open it. I think I still have it open here. So notice I also have it open in Visual Studios, and they will actually somewhat sync up. So if I make changes in Expression Blend and I do save, if I go back to Visual Studios, it will ask me to update the contents, reload it into Visual Studios in a way, and vice versa. If I build in Visual Studios and then come back to Expression Blend, it will ask me to update the content. So as you can see, here's the actual form. You can see again, image on image. If I click on the image, I have the properties. Remember, I was showing the properties and events section. That's all up here. And you have this is the property tabs. This is your events tab, and you can still get to the code behind. Here's an important thing. Remember our solution where we have home.xaml, all of that, about.xaml. We're on home right now. Below that, we have what's called objects and timeline. This is important. This is where you're going to have, for example, here's my image. I'm calling it Jimmy Janecko button. You'll naturally get, it looks like it gave me a page and a layout. These come standard, and then I added these other things as well in there. Let's see, what else? One of the things I was telling you about, obviously, is storyboard. Well, I'm going to add an object here. So here's where you can add objects. You can also present this with parts. Is it parts or is it assets? Assets gives you stuff like project controls, and if I'm on controls, you can see border, button, blah, blah, blah. You have behaviors where you can give it a whole bunch of stuff. And if I go to behaviors, you have physics. So you can give physics object behavior, and that's where you can do a lot of animation. Let's see. Let's say I want a button. So I right-clicked on it, and I get a button. Click on button. Now I can go over here. You can left-click. That didn't work out. Did it work? Okay. So put a button down here. Basically, when I have this button, now I'm going to add a story to it. So I come over here to this little plus, and it says new. You can see it says no storyboard open. So I can do a new. And I can name my storyboard. I'm going to name it storyboard 1. Now you can see it became red. It's recording. Here's my little timeline. So at time 0, the button looks like this. Alright, so then I'm going to move this to time 1. And I'm going to come back over here. And I have the button's properties. So I'm going to change properties. Whenever I change properties, it's going to have, it has some kind of standard transition. So I have a lot of properties that I can go through. I'm going to go to transform. And I'm going to say, let's see, render, transform, rotate. I'm going to say rotate 360. I don't know if I showed that too well. That's right here. So I clicked on under transform. I went to here, and then I clicked on it, and I can go backwards, and I can go negative. I can go forward. And what we're looking at is, here's the button, and I'm going to do what I just did. You see it's showing you what it's doing visually as you're doing that. So you can see I'm moving the mouse around, and it's moving. So I'm going to say, now it's at 390, and that's at 1 second. Alright, so I can test this. So I can go here, and I can hit this plus, or I can hit this play, and when I hit play, it does it for you. So, and then the button stops. One thing is, if I go to the storyboard right here and I click on it, the properties for the storyboard comes up, and I have two things. I can do repeater times 2, times 1, times 2, times 3, or forever. And I'm sure you can do other ones, but right here it only lists these things. So if I do forever, let's see, it's not going to show you here, I don't believe. Okay, it stops. It only does it once, but we're going to, remember, we're going to file, we're going to save, or save all. Now I'm going to go back to Visual Studios. It pops up the window, and it says, you need to reload it. So I say yes to all. now I'm going to, what I would need to do is add an event to that button, and it will start on the website. So what I can do, if I want to do it from Visual Studios, let's see. So it's on the home. By the way, Visual Studios has, I'm in the CS, so I want to go to home.xaml. There we go. Okay, and our button is right there. See if I don't know if I can do this right. If I didn't name the button, let's see. Because a storyboard. Okay, here's one of the problems. I needed to name the button before I added a storyboard to it, and the reason is, if you don't, if the application fails in some way, so home.xaml fails when it's pulling it into right here. If home.xaml fails when it's pulling into this web page, it will literally. It won't tell you why the home. It'll say home cannot be found. It won't tell you why. It just says home cannot be found. And what it is if home errors, it doesn't tell what's trying to receive its service or what's going on. It just says, "Hey, I'm not available." And so, since we did not name button, dang it. See, button. I guess it wants to say its name is button. So okay, let's see if I can do something about that. Alright, I need to go to home, I need to go to the code behind, and whenever okay, so home, I want to say button, I don't know if it is differentiated. Let's see, dot begin. Okay. Well, I can't reference it right now, but you get my point. That's exactly with my image. Remember how I told you over the Skype how at 0, 1 second I had the opacity at 0, at 1 second I have it at 100% opacity, and at 2 seconds I have it at 0. What I did is in the home section I said the heart beating dot begin. And that's what starts it. So whenever I load the page, it says I named that storyboard heart beating. In this one we had named it storyboard 1. You say dot begin. If the mouse enters, I can stop it so it shows in full, because the button naturally it has 100% opacity unless I want to change that. But outside of the storyboard, I kept it at 100% opacity. So it just completely is vibrant whenever you mouse over it. When you leave, I have it again as heartbeat.begin. So in the when it enters, it says dot stop, so it stops the storyboard. It gives the that image button its traditional properties outside of the storyboard. Like I said, 100% opacity. So this is kind of what you're working with. I hope this helps. It should be a pretty good introduction, and gives you enough to play around with.